have to remember we usually end up in cults over here on our side. So
white people are more cult prone.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
We fall for lies. We just want to be happy. When someone promises happiness, we just go to it.
That's true.
do you think like, okay, so
peace and happiness.
Somebody started a cult,
and then
right?
eventual group suicide or murder.
Yeah, there you go.
But like, what if there's like a positive cult that existed, like literally one that's just it's basically like just chilling, just like
this is how they get, and this is how they get
good
you
people.
But the thing is, the trust thing. It's like you wouldn't know because you're like, no, there's something funny going on in there. So
no, that's the craziest part. It's like, how do you police that? You can't.
And then who would you trust? Because I'm telling you right now, no disrespect, white people, but I'm not trusting you guys. Just like, hey,
I don't blame you.
Good time. Come hop on the boat. You go over here. You get to live for free and come over here and fucking work.
Listen,
I get paid.
If there's a group of creepy looking white guys that approach you and you're pretty sure they're in a cult, you're their sacrificial lamb. They are trying to get.
You're not long for this world.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Susan?
That's your mom?
That's my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Susan.
We had the Nexium cult that grew right here from Albany.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
like the small girl chick from Smallville.
That was right.
Oh shit! What's up by you guys, huh?
That was a homegrown cult.
Yeah, that was us. Represent.
I wonder if that's where Chris ended up.
No.
If he's listening, I love you.
What you say? Represent.
Represent.
We're proud of that shit.
Really put in our town on the map.
Yeah.
What's the best cult?
I guess.
The one that's like striving is Scientology, right?
That's true. I guess that's the winner.
Scientology, and we're doing scientific movies.
I guess if you like science fiction.
Yep, science fiction. Think about
it. That's what we're here for tonight.
Wait, is there a black cult? Like, what's the most famous black cult?
Well, you guys call them cults.
I'm not saying it.
You know, you say the Black Panthers, that was a gang, and then they got wiped out.
I don't really think that. Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. I wouldn't have considered the Black Panthers a cult.
No, you wouldn't have.
That's even kind of racist.
They didn't consider the Black Panthers a cult.
That's kind of racist.
No, you consider them
It's even more fucking racist because if it was white people who were doing the same thing the Black Panthers were doing, they would have been considered a cult, right? Mm-hmm. Like fucking Charles Manson, all that shit, right? Black Panthers, terrorist organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, too, they today, they don't, like you said, white people are called cults. When a group of white people are cults, they call you gangs. That's what that. So basically, a gang is a cult.
Basically the same thing in a sense.
A cult or a gang is a white cult.
My wife reminded me the best cult to be in is the cult of the Whovians. All Doctor Who fans. We're the best cult.
Doctor Who.
I was so confused.
I like Doctor Who.
It's the Whovians. That's what they're called.
The Whovians.
Oh boy.
Oh,
but anyways.
That's not how I expected the show to start.
No, I didn't know. I was talking about.
I don't even know. I don't remember how that started.
I don't remember. So I was telling you guys earlier. Me and
started blaming white people for something, and then
it's been 5 minutes. I don't even know how that started.
But not early. So earlier, me and Mick did an episode reviewing -1, and I don't remember how the conversation. I don't remember how the episode started, how the conversation started. But I hope he keeps that in there. It was just some random ass shit that we dove into the movie like we always do. Because he was like, "Yo, is this really how we're starting the episode?" I was like, "Yeah."
So did you? That's the last one. You finished all the Godzilla movies?
No, no. We're only in like what, week 4?
Well, because you reviewed -1. I thought that was going to be the last one.
We did that for Horror Research 30. We didn't do it.
Oh, gotcha.
And like I went. The reason why I went to go see that, which the review will drop sometime next week. You have to see why. But basically, it was in black and white. So I wanted to see it in black and white in theaters, and it's foreign film. I was like, yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's all I'm going to say. But if you get a chance to see it in theaters while it's still in there, go check it out. Everything else you got to check out the review. But that's not why we're here. That is not why we're here.
It's not.
We are
We're
here.
not here to talk. We're not here to talk about Godzilla, cults, or gangs.
Boom. For this.
The journey continues.
It does. It does.
And
let's start out. Let's just do it, guys. Let's just start out with Star Trek.
Okay.
All right.
Start with Star Trek, and let's early ratings. And I already know who has something to say. This guy right here.
That's news to me.
I have
I'm
a
gonna
feeling.
go 4.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
It was not a very entertaining voyage home.
I thought it was entertaining. I liked it. I'm going to give this. What did I give Khan?
7. Oh wait, no, sorry, a 9. Wrath of Khan 9. That was
This is. I'm going to give it 8.
Wow. Ooh. Wow.
This one's gonna be all over the place.
This, I really do enjoy this one. I think it's fun. I think this is very reminiscent of like the old like Star Trek episodes that were just like, away missions. They were just out, and I always feel like those are the best. And so for this one, I give it a 6.
6. I'm at a 5 for this one. I'm at a 5. Wasn't bad, but it was all right.
I really liked it. I liked the part where like they didn't know the language, like how people were talking back then, and Spock was just repeatedly calling people shit.
Yeah, those were. I mean, they had some good jokes in there.
Yeah,
where they're trying to interact.
Me.
But maybe I missed this, but where the fuck did the alien probe even come from?
Yeah, it was just floating in space, man.
That's a very Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
Like there's just weird random shit they encounter.
Like it's never addressed, right? Where it came from or where it goes.
They're called entity episodes. Really, is what it comes down to. So Voyager from Motion Picture would be considered that too.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So. Yeah.
Well, they kind of said they hinted at it. Didn't they say it went to Voyager got lost, like it got into the machine galaxy or something, and they basically upgraded it into a fucking being or something, like where it could think on its own, got a consciousness.
Well, it got sucked into a black hole and learned everything there was to learn and became sentient.
Yeah, sentient. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
That was more of an explanation than they had for this probe trying to communicate.
Oh yeah, the probe just the probe looked like a fucking iron pipe.
Yeah,
floating.
Just a giant fucking iron pipe that wanted
or a
to
space
penetrate
turd.
something.
It was a fucking space turd. Just floating.
Just going around penetrating space.
Yep. But it was kind of that fucking thing was tearing up world like fucking. I was like, is this thing like a fucking galactic? Like the fucking this motherfucker gonna eat the world? What the hell is this thing doing?
Fucking making whale. That's the crazy thing. Connection with the whales and shit. I was not expecting that, and when I heard it, I'm like, that's a fucking whale. I was like, I know whales. I used to watch Free Willy as a kid. I used to watch all the shit on whales. Love that shit.
My wife loves this.
When I hear a whale.
My wife loves this one because she remembers this. She thinks this is
good, Jason.
She's the first movie she watched with her father.
Okay,
and she remembers the whale, and she calls it the whale one, and she likes this one. But it was entertaining to me. I don't know. I just liked it. I thought it was just how they went back in time, and
I liked it. I liked that aspect of it because for me,
they all had a mission.
Well, even then, because that's what Star Trek is, and even I would even argue that that's what Star Wars is too. They have space whales as well. We'll find out later. But there's it's that connection. It's like this universal thing. Like math is universal throughout the universe. That's exactly what that means. I don't know why I said that again, but math is universal. So it stands to reason that there's going to be things out there that connect with aspects or stuff that we know here in different ways. So I like the fact that, connecting it to the whales, going back in time, making that an adventure and taking it away from okay, we're going up against an enemy versus we're going up. We have to go on this mission to save, everything, which we see is very reminiscent in First Contact when we get there as well. So I always like that aspect of this, and I thought it was a really good break, especially between what we just got with getting Spock back and where we're going next. So I like this movie. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not the best, but I think I enjoy it.
Well, Jason, that's his favorite one.
You see, now that's crazy talk, Jason. The reason why I say that, Wrath of Khan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan. I like that.
And I cannot wait till you guys see First Contact. I think you're all going to love it.
That was just, holy shit, that was so good.
No, Wrath of Khan has been the best one by far so far through these first 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this one, like their interaction with people in the 80s. Is it the 80s there?
Yeah.
Travel back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's good. Like, as soon as they get there and he steps out in front of the cab, and the cabbie calls him a dumbass, and he's like, well, double dumbass to you.
Yeah.
I like that. And then jokes about the profanity and Spock not being able to pull it off. He's like, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I liked it. It was funny.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's some good jokes and banter and stuff in those scenarios, but I'm like, I don't know. It didn't seem that much of a Star Trek movie to me. Just,
you want to hear something pretty funny? So the show Picard, which came out, in the last few years, it just had its third season, and where it follows, Picard on these newer adventures, they have to go back in time to Los Angeles, right? In I forget what it was, it was like 2022 or 2021 or whatever it was. And 2 of the characters are on a bus, and there's the guy who looks like a punk rocker, has some music playing blast, and like she says something to him, and he just turns it off real quick. He's like, I don't have any problems. That was the same actor from the bus on this.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, that was blasting the music and wouldn't turn it down. So just another cool nod and callback to that. I thought was a lot of fun. And
that's the kind of thing that makes fans dick hard. Seriously, like that's a fan.
All right.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like it's a little hard now, but whatever.
See,
I mean, it's a good thing the camera's not closer.
I walk around half hard daily.
I mean, yeah, it's constant anyway. It's just walking around with a half chub all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Spock.
20 years and all.
Swinging the dick around, making lightsaber noise.
I'll give you a space whale.
I'll tell you what, my wife has watched me watch Ted for the last few days, and I think she completely understands while listening to this conversation that that's just guys now.
But it's really tough to explain, but it's like I'll put it to you like this, ladies. If cartoon life was real to where we could jump off and stuff and do shit,
we're not talking Star Trek.
It'd be perfectly fine. A cartoon you're like fine like the very next second or the very next day, depending on the episode. We would be doing a lot more dumb shit. We probably wouldn't even be on this podcast right now. We probably should jumping off and shit, trying to do this live, talking to each other, or some dumb shit.
You want to know the
eating
difference?
That fucking spicy chip again.
You want to know the difference between men and women? That parkour episode from The Office. Women laugh at that because they're like, "Wow, those 3 are just too wild," and guys laugh at that because they're like, "I've done that."
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a good one, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just guys.
It really is. It really, because and the funny thing is, like, you just see a guy friend in different variation, like how we all are, mixing a whole different state, but we still behind. Well, even on camera, but you see how we bust each other. All this, it's all the same with guy friendship. But you could tell it's like, do these guys get along to each other?
Oh, and if you want to hear that even more to the extreme, join the Patreon.
Yes, join the Patreon. And as a matter of fact, listen to this announcement. Listen to this. Hang on.
This is what we said earlier, is it?
Starting next Saturday, we're gonna hop right to the movie right after this announcement. Starting next Saturday, we are gonna start reviewing Ted, starting with episode 1 on our Patreon. So,
oh sweet, can I
you
join?
might want to hop on in, and of course, it's gonna have to be the next tier up. So we're gonna have to, it's gonna be a little bit more because we're doing, But seriously, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. You're gonna see us on there talking about it, having some great laughs about it. I'm gonna be high.
I will say this. After watching everything over the last few days, the first Ted is the worst one out of everything.
The first movie?
And because Mila Kunis's character.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm going to save my reasons why, because I have a lot of reasons to talk about. I'm going to save it if you'll let me on, if you want to have me on your show.
Oh yeah.
If you'll let me.
If we'll let him.
I'm just standing outside the door. I got theories, guys.
Let me in.
Oh man,
You know what it is.
We need a picture of you like standing in the door and looking sad and just saying, "I got theories, guys." And we need to be able to use that at Popcorn and Pints.
I'm on it.
You know what I want? You know what would be fun to do, doing the entire stream where we can show the backstage windows and we just leave Mick backstage the whole time. Well, the three of us are the ones on the screen, and you just see him getting angry.
Or
have him doing this,
mute me, and then the back of James for sturdy video. We'll make something like that for this. We're not going to Pints, where it's just like looking in the bar.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Just like kind of standing there.
Let's do it. That's hilarious. This is how you have fun with each other, people. But yeah, back to Star Trek though. Like this one, like you guys were saying, it was a fun one that you really didn't have to take too serious. And it kind of, for me, the reason why I didn't give it a higher rating is because it kind of took me out of it from the way the story was going. I know it was still kind of following, but it was kind of like you were saying, like one of those just kind of like those extra episodes, so to speak, or just kind of throw it in there. And it definitely felt like that. But not in a bad way, just as like a little buffer kind of thing. But it brought it down for me some. Actually, not a lot, because part 3 I felt the same way, but that was off of the Wrath of Khan though, because that was just such a fucking awesome movie to where.
See, I think that's gonna be your problem, but you're scoring now, because you started off with high. Wrath of Khan is so in the beginning so high, and you're gonna compare it with Wrath of Khan the rest of the way.
Well, I'm trying not to, but these two are so close to it.
You're never gonna get back to Wrath of Khan except for maybe First Contact. Maybe the new movies, one of the new movies.
Yeah,
but other than that, nah.
Yeah. The wife wants to watch those, by the way, when we get to the new movies for Star Trek.
I did enjoy their tour through the fucking SeaWorld. whatever they were called.
Oh, the real world. It's called something different.
Oceanic, I forgot whatever they called it.
Yeah.
With the
my wife's uncle and wife went there. It's not called that. It has.
I know it's not SeaWorld. That's the
no, not SeaWorld. I'm talking about the name in the movie. It's like Oceanic something. It's different title.
Yeah. But when he's back on the tour and the guide is talking and Kirk's looking around because he doesn't see Spock, and then there's just Spock in the whale tank, mind melding the whale. I'm like, what the fuck?
And his drawers, his fucking shirt and drawers. What the hell?
That was a little close up of Leonard Nimoy. That was
funny. I laughed. That was
like I will say this. I do agree. Actually, 6 is my favorite to watch.
Interesting.
I don't think it's as good as Wrath of Khan or First Contact, but if another one is going to be really high for me, it's probably going to be 6.
That was Undiscovered Country.
Where everything that happened from 3 with the Klingons comes back to haunt the crew in a big way, and it's really well done.
Can't wait for that. It was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like a whodunit. They have to figure out who done a murder.
Ooh,
nice. Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I did enjoy the scene with Scotty and Bones. They go to the plastics plant, and they're pretending, and he's pretending to be this Professor Scott. That was really good. He's there for a tour. They didn't know. But then they're trying to convince the guy to help him. He's like, then he shows him the plans for what kind of aluminum did he even call it?
Yeah, it's like it's see-through aluminum or something.
Transparent aluminum or something.
Yeah.
And they step to the side, and Bones is like, if you give him this formula, we're altering the future. He's like, we don't know that he didn't invent it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's one way to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even question. Yeah, that's another thing about these movies too. Like all the time travel movies. Like, I understand they covered their ass on this one. She said she had nobody. It's like she had no family.
Oh, she
So
jumped
she
right
went
on that
with them.
ship.
Yeah, she went with them.
Oh,
I'm like, but come on, that has to alter something.
That's like a huge no-no. That's a huge no-no from the Prime Directive. Like, you're supposed to correct that stuff.
Mhm.
Them doing that, like, it's that's another thing about this movie. You're right. I just can't really take. Is how many he just breaks the Prime Directive all the fucking time. So, and I don't like understand. I love Kirk, I do, but you're never supposed to be sacred. But every captain breaks the Prime Directive, but there's always a justifiable means for it. But here, absolutely not. Sorry, you can't come. You can scream about aliens, you can scream about the future, all this stuff.
But nobody in the future knows anything about humpback whales.
I'll tell you, that's a good cover story to bring her. That makes it better.
I didn't even say that.
Holy shit, that's true.
But
Holy
still,
shit.
Nobody in their century knows anything about humpback whales because they've been extinct.
Holy!
But it still has to affect something, though. That's another thing. They're bringing whales back. That's changing something. They're reintroducing them to the population.
I like that.
But they had to save the universe because of that shit making whale noises. The whales are just like, yo.
No, I understand they had to do it, but that's still changing something.
But no, it does. I mean, you learned that from the Flash, the Flashpoint Paradox. If you've ever seen that.
Speaking of that, yeah, where's the fucking time? Was it? Speed
it did change things. It changed things big times, James. Trump became president. We're all sitting here doing our thing. Welcome. That's what happened. Fuckers. Kirk came down here, broke the Prime Directive, and now we're fucked.
Yeah, fuck is over. The world ended in 2012. We slipped into a different dimension.
Yep.
Also, he can course correct and make William Shatner go into space.
It's just a big black rod out there in space that wants to bang whales. That's what this movie tells me.
Oh man,
it was shaped that way.
There's a reason he's after humpback whales.
Jesus.
Hey, they could have used sperm whales.
Oh,
they could have. They could have. Yeah, there was no mention of sperm whales.
Why was it? Oh, I think because the humpback whale was endangered at the time, and like Leonard Nimoy was like all in on the charities for that.
Yeah,
and he was the director,
and that was part of his comeback contract.
Directing
was. I don't know if he wrote this one or not.
Oh, okay.
Yep, double check. I think he might have.
Because he directed. Did he start directing with Search for Spock? I think that was the first one he
That's
directed.
the only way he would come back.
He directed other things like before that, but I think that was like the first movie.
That was the first Star Trek, at least. Because he did Search for Spock, he did this one, and I assume he will have done more of the others. Oh, the Chekhov interrogation scene. That one was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that too.
But him running through the fucking sub and being chased by all the guards and no one fucking stopping him, seriously.
I know.
Like he's running through giant crowds of sailors.
They're just ignoring it. They're just walking like,
everyone's just ignoring it, except for like the 5 guards with the guns that are running after him.
That reminds me of Bones. Same thing when they were like, "Oh, we can't save him." They're like, "What? They're gonna kill him, Jim." Like he's like those fucking medical tools they're using.
Just the archaic medical practices that he's referring to, which is that's funny. But like they go from we gotta save him, we need to get in the hospital, and we need to look like doctors, to literally the very next scene. They're already running through the hospital to get to him, dressed as doctors. I'm like, how the fuck did they even get in there and get the gowns and shit like that? They totally skipped over any kind of sneaking into the hospital or anything like that.
So, just because I looked it up and we're here, so the only movies, these were the first movies he directed. He directed some TV shows, especially T.J. Hooker with his buddy.
Really? All right.
But his first movie was Search for Spock, and then this one. And then, can anyone guess what famous 80s movie was his third movie he directed in 1980?
What, in 80s, what, 7?
Famous 80s? You're going to have to give us some kind of hint.
I would
Breakfast
say
Club.
Arguably 3 of the biggest male stars.
Ooh.
Not just on the big screen.
What are you talking about? Porn too?
No, TV. Why do you go straight to porn every time?
That's just how we roll on this show. You should know this by now.
And TV.
I say I don't know any male porn stars. You ask about like Lisa Ann or somebody, I could tell you, or Brandy Love, but
Came out in 1987.
What do you mean by came out?
Nimoy, and it stars arguably 3 of the biggest male actors of the time.
Jesus.
It wasn't
I'm not
Footloose, was it?
It was not Footloose. That came out in 1984.
I'm gonna need more hints.
There's a baby in it.
Three men and a baby. Did he really direct that?
Yeah, he directed it.
That's
wow.
So, and then
I like that we knew that as soon as you said it.
Yeah, I jumped right at it. Like, oh,
Never seen it.
of
You haven't
course.
seen
Uh-oh. I feel like Twins and 3 Men and a Baby night on Popcorn and Pints.
We've done Twins.
We did Twins.
Okay, let's figure something else out. That's
Three Men and a Baby has a sequel.
What's
There's
the?
Does it really?
Yeah, it's not that good of a.
No, but it exists.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Is it 3 men and a little girl or something like that? I
3
don't
Men
remember.
and a Little Lady.
That's
All
yeah.
right.
That's very.
That
could
sounds
go
like
a
a
few different
pedophile
ways.
I feel
That could
Pedophile
go
porn right there.
a
I
few
got it.
concerning ways.
The Wizard with Fred Savage. And
I never heard of
fucking
3 Men and a Baby. Right.
You got to put like really white movies into the mix here for starting to discover and think, why do I hang out with these people?
Now this might be so white. I never discovered this one. The Wizard.
No, I've seen
this one.
seen The Wizard. I know I've seen it. I don't remember it, but I know I've seen it.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Never
I
seen
want to see it. That sounds very seductive, Nick.
It is. It is.
He's at full chub now.
No, not for that one.
That guy doesn't get a Power Glove though. He goes gloveless.
That's the only way to go.
God, I never got that thing.
Oh man. I just gotta show you guys the movie cover of this shit. Because this is yeah, we have to fucking review this shit.
You do Little Monsters too. It's like
Oh, I watched Little Monsters.
Didn't we do Little Monsters?
Yep. Love that movie. Look at this. The fucking wizard.
The Wizard, man. Yeah.
I never seen that. Nope.
Then look at this. That's the Power Glove. That's just a fucking winter glove.
That's the kid who says it. The kid who goes, I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Oh man.
You don't have to see it. It's fucking wild.
You know what this really is? That's Mick when he was. That's his first acting scene right there. He's just throwing it off on someone else.
Not me at all.
Wait a minute, is this where they got 8-bit Christmas from?
Yeah, honestly.
Probably.
No bullshit. That's probably
got some ideas from it.
There's an episode of the Goldbergs about the Power Glove.
Power Glove.
They stole that right off of this movie too. And in fact,
I never owned a Power Glove.
Nope.
We got to do it when Chris is back on though, because I feel like video game correlation would be.
Oh, the Wizard and
well, 3 Men and a Baby did not have. It's not a video game, Jason, at all. I feel like the Wizard would have been a good one to offset probably Double Dragon.
Ooh,
Double Dragon. I remember that one.
Even though I don't want to.
Fair.
We did that.
Back in a day, I think I used to like those movies though. I'm sure it's different now. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But
Dude,
I really feels like I like Double Dragon.
I forgot you missed the video game wheel too, James. You missed a lot, Dick.
Yeah, I missed a lot, man.
He's been going to extra meetings lately. I don't know why.
7.5 months, man. They sent me over. I had to fly over to New
He's
Zealand.
got a new special set of sheets.
They had to put me through training. I had to run up mountains with sheets on.
What?
You'll find out more on Patreon, people. If you're on Patreon, you can get into what we're talking about.
Of course I miss it. The one time I miss it, I'm like, Jesus, there's a story here.
We didn't record a Patreon tonight. That was
That was a freestyle, but I'm just saying, if you want to know more about the craziness, that
was a freestyle.
We get more into that craziness on our Patreon. But like I said, we're going to be starting Ted this weekend. So
it's cracking me up. James running up a mountain in sheets.
My leg is strong.
This hood's obstructing my view.
Keep
actually, I just learned tonight. Speaking of some,
oh no,
hoodies. Did you know hoodies were invented in 1930s? And it's not those hoods, Aaron.
Those
it was Champion.
The hooded sweatshirt.
The company Champion, the hooded, hoodies. Yeah.
I wonder if it had something to do with the Great Depression.
I don't know. I just learned that today. I was like, "What? Champion's been around since 1930."
That was warm.
That is not
were
something
you watching something, James, or was this something you just Googled?
No, I was watching something and I seen it. Someone.
Okay.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Like because you said you had the chocolate.
Well, technically, as a podcast, they Googled it.
Okay, that's fair. That's
because they're arguing about hoodies when they were popular. They said find out when hoodies came on the scene, and he found out they're 1930. They're like 1930. No one was wearing fucking hoodies in 1930. Then,
do you think they created it and the KKK was like, God damn it?
Damn.
That would have been such a great technology for
I know.
For
it would have been easier.
ensemble.
The hood definitely existed before that point.
No, but those take off. Those are like,
they're
not even really like. I get why they call them hoods, but because they look more cloakish. But they're not even like cloakish, which would be sort of like the robes that a hood would warrant.
Mm.
Those are more masks anyway. I don't know. I don't want to piss off another base.
It's like I want another group
shit.
Oh fuck! I guess we can. Anything else that you guys want to talk about with the flying whales?
We have another movie to talk about.
No, it was just entertaining. I
mean, there was some fun. I don't know. It felt not like a Star Trek movie to me, but it was like more of a fish out of water type movie for me.
Well, they're mammals, but
I think I'm really
a mammal out of water.
I had to.
That was a good one.
I think I'm digging that. It feels like I'm watching the series.
Yeah. With this, honestly, with these movies in general, which it doesn't feel bad that way. It doesn't feel bad either way. But
it don't feel good. I like it. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why I'm like.
Actually, one thing I noticed as opposed to like the last movies, I felt like there was like a lot of whispering and low talking in this. Like no one's going. There's no hardly any yelling or.
Well, that's why it seemed the most realistic to Star Trek for me.
To be fair, though, they were in spots where they had to be kind of quiet when they were doing shit. When they're trying to get whatever the hell they were trying to get, I forgot. But they had to be quiet.
Nuclear energy. They're sucking nuclear energy out of the reactor.
Dude, they suck that energy out, and you feel like
they're ciphering. They're ciphering nuclear energy. That's how they.
It's just like siphoning gas out of a
exactly. Yeah.
Or
that's how easy it is.
Fucking crazy.
I love the beam up. That's one thing I love about Star Trek. That's
how you gonna park that fucking thing in the middle of Central Park, or not Central? I mean Golden State. What did they say? Golden State Park.
Oh, it was good, Chris.
I don't know. They're in San Francisco.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
Nice.
It's Velcro, Chris. But what were you saying, James?
Is it waterproof? It should be.
On my beard. It's cum proof.
Flame retardant. How do you think it got its coloring? Those aren't gray hairs.
Gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. He forgot to wring his beard out.
Yeah.
It's the salt and pepper. That's what it does for us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm in the office Tuesday, Thursdays, Chris.
Here's my work schedule live on the air.
Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Other days he's out glory hole hunting.
Damn straight.
In New Hampshire.
Nice weekend bed and breakfast. It's the bed and breakfast glory holes that are the best.
Listen, we have to get off the glory holes and get back to the blowholes of Star Trek and the whales.
Good segue. Good segue.
It all connects.
Got it.
Just the tips, they all connect.
It makes it even worse that it's the mom from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, we know who you married. You know the monster you married.
Yep. All about the glory holes and blowholes.
Oh, Jesus
But any final pop-ups about Star Trek?
Nope. We can go solo now.
Let's go solo ourselves.
And with that, with you.
Star Wars solo. Oh shit! Put me on the spot.
Sure.
7.
7.
Yeah. 5.
I'm with Mick on this one, actually. 5.
Uh, 6.
Damn, I must be in a good mood today. I'm like giving scores way higher than everybody else.
I mean, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was just entertaining. I like how it was the first time meeting Chewie. Thought that was cool.
Chewie was the best part of this movie for me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I like that. That fucking
Lando.
sassy fucking robot. T something.
Yeah.
T.
Oh, Lando's pilot and navigation.
I laughed a few times. She had a good joke where Khaleesi from Game of Thrones was my second favorite part of this. Where she comes in and the robot's like, Lando wants me, but it's never gonna happen. However she phrases it. We're not compatible.
Yeah.
Yep. This was just too choppy. It was too much of a mess. The original script or idea for it before they fucking fired the directors and meddled was very good. The fact that you shoehorn Darth Maul in there in the end.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
You know, there's a whole lot of it. Like, there's a lot of cool fan service moments. I never needed to know the 12 part. I never needed to see the Kessel Run, you know, in 12 parsecs. It was a great story. It's a great one to just play in your head. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for me, this was just. It just was so thin on story. You know, I think they were relying on the fact that it's like, well, it's Han Solo and Chewbacca, and then I didn't mind the characters. I just didn't, you know, all aboard. Like, I liked Woody Harrelson as the mentor character, but the story was just kind of like, well, I don't care. Why am I watching this?
Yeah, it's a weak story. Just the origin story of Han Solo, how he became an outlaw in his work terms,
and he deserved better, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was actually really thinking it was going to be like a really awesome story for Han Solo, just because of the character, the importance of what he becomes for the, you know, from what I know him as for 4 or 5, you know, for those 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this just seems kind of like, it feels almost like what they did for part, what was it? 2 maybe? Yeah, part 2 of Star Wars, or just kind of like something just to kind of throw out there, just to have it out there. Like, here's a name bite, here's this, here's another Star Wars movie, and go. And it was just like, why? Like you're saying, like, why? If you're gonna do it, give it justice. Like, give a real deep dive on the Han Solo character. Give a better story than this one, because this wasn't even that really.
Well,
It wasn't that great to me. And then on top of that, I feel like you didn't really learn too much about him, like what made him become who he was and all this other shit. Like just to give him a good origin story.
the story's thin, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian was really the best thing to come out of this, right? That's what would garnered the most interest because people really, he played that really well. And I don't know if he's still doing a show or what the fuck happened, because I thought they were at some point.
I heard that they were. I don't know if they are or not.
I think there was some kind of artistic differences or something. He wouldn't do it unless he could have control. I don't remember.
So,
like, Donald Glover's great. I fucking been a fan of his since I first saw him in Community. That's where I
Community. I love that show.
Yeah.
Love that show.
And you know what? Speaking of that show, same here. Love that show. After he was off that show, it declined a lot.
Yeah, it
After
did decline.
100%.
Yeah,
like because like with the one dude that was his friend in the show, like his best friend in the show, the dude was funny, but those two together were just hilarious. Those two together
made that. Yeah, they made that whole dynamic.
I can go back. It almost not and again, I'm gonna say this again, not as epic as that duo, but it almost gave you feels of like a JD Turk kind of thing, in my opinion. Not to that level, in my opinion, but just almost gave you that feel. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And then, of course, with the later seasons, just like every other good show or series, you get the bullshit.
Chevy Chase played a role in that, probably.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
But I get, but that happens with series, though. You either have somebody that wants more money, wants more control, wants more of something.
Oh, no, he was just straight up racist. Though.
No, yeah, he was a racist.
There's that too. Yeah,
he's a racist asshole.
There's that too. But I'm gonna say I'm still gonna go back and watch Community again because that shit was funny. Fuck Chevy Chase, but that shit was funny. But
anyway, Star Wars. I was confused. So at the end, like you said, they show Darth Maul. So I thought we're doing this in order. Darth Maul dies.
Darth Maul survived. I'm just I'll give you a heads up now, and it is canon. He survived.
Yeah, because remember he mentions that earlier. Because
he survived and sliced in half.
Yeah. In fact, in this, that he has like fake legs, droid legs.
Oh shit!
Think about it like Darth Vader.
Yeah, but I didn't know that because he fell off a cliff. He fell into like a ditch,
You're
like
not
a fucking trench.
I will tell you this: this movie fucked it up, but they did give him a great send off that he deserved.
Okay.
And that is he dies by the hands of Obi-Wan. It's a beautiful scene from Rebels, where Darth Maul, having tried to hunt down Obi-Wan for what he did to him, finally meets him as an old Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan takes him down, but in a beautiful way, and then like stays with him as he dies.
Is this the animated series?
Oh yeah, it's very good. It's a very
animated. Is it animated series or movie?
Anime series.
Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. It's a very good series.
Honestly, most of my notes revolve around Chewie. I enjoyed every scene he was in. From the minute Han meets him and they're fighting in that pit, and he convinces them to help him out. That was good.
Lucky, Wookiee.
Chewie, like they're at the bar. Chewie's taking shots. I wrote that down. The whole card scene with Han and Lando, those were good. The one early on, and then the one at the end where, and then the one at the end where he takes his way to cheat out off his wrist there, and that's how he wins the ship. Like, all right, that was cool.
Speaking of ship, that motherfucker Tokyo Drift, the fucking Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
She's supposed to do with a spaceship, James.
The landing gear. He's like, whoa. I was like, what the
Don't you know how space works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're watching Fast and Furious too much.
They don't have space whales in their way.
Here's the thing. We're arguing about a spaceship.
Yeah, no.
Tokyo drifting.
That's true.
If, like, why would that happen? But we don't argue about cars doing it and the shit they do in Fast and Furious. Fact of the matter is, there's no such thing as spaceships.
It's true.
So like we can make them do whatever the
Well, I mean, there
the
could be
cars we should be going
People
after,
care
like,
more about the
can't do that.
Millennium Falcon than any Fast and Furious movie.
That's true. That's
That's why
very true.
Scientology is so dominant. They've learned those secrets. It's like
He beats the shit out of the Millennium Falcon too. That's
Yeah.
why Lando's like, oh my fucking god, looking at it. He's like, what the fuck you do to my ship? But hey, you gotta do it to survive. Oh, by the way, they introduced fucking Cholula, or whatever how you pronounce that fucking creature, when they went that fucking that black hole looking thing, where they went into that giant creature just hiding up in there. I was like, yo, what is that? I was like, is that fucking mythical beast, Cholula, or whatever it is? Fucking almost, yeah, it's like some fucking mutated octopus, space octopus trying to grab him.
it just doesn't resonate with me at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Like, even bad Star Wars, I can't keep revisiting. I just can't keep going back to it. Like bad Trek, I can. I can. I don't know why. Because it's about the characters. Characters are still always interesting. But this, it just like it's not because it wasn't Harrison Ford, because I like the guy, I like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in other things. I think he's a really good actor, and I don't want to take anything away from him. And I like Emilia Clarke and Paul Bettany and all them. So it's not, and Woody Harrelson. So it's not bad acting. So it has to just be that this is boring Trek.
It's the story.
Star Wars.
It's the story.
Mm-hmm.
The story is not that good, and that's what kills this movie. You're right. It's not the actors or the acting itself.
Yeah.
It's the fucking story.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't really that invested in any part of the story. Like I said, that's why I enjoyed the Chewie scenes, because Chewie's just fucking awesome. Especially when he rips the arms off a guy.
Yeah.
Scene. Like he didn't know that was gonna happen. He just holds him up.
That Solo fucking complained. He was like, of course, the one that one looked like it'll fit me really well. He fucking rips the suit apart.
Yeah.
There's
the brief scene where after they escape, was it the war at the beginning, and they're on the Millennium? Maybe it's not. I don't remember where in the movie it happened. A quick shower scene where Han is taking a shower and Chewie steps in there. He's like, we didn't have to do this together, or whatever the line was.
Oh, you mean the prison space scene?
Yeah.
Prison shower in space.
Prison.
He's sitting there
shower. Prison Wookiee. Space shower.
Yeah,
smelling wet Wookiee.
Wet Wookiee. Hashtag wet Wookiee.
I would have. You know what I would have really liked to have seen is like an Ocean's 11 style movie where this is Solo, but Solo is like the Matt Damon character in Ocean's 11. Where he's just eager to be like the guys, like Danny Ocean and Brad Pitt's character. So he's so eager. I think that would have been a fun one. And like, of course, for the muscle, maybe that's how he meets Chewie.
This is like that's interesting because this is a heist movie, but it's a bad heist movie.
Yeah. But I think it's because it's so overdone. Like the heist has to be this action-packed thing. I thought it could have been cool if like we got to know the con man who's trying to hook up the girls and take get things, but he's too eager. He's also too much man of action and fucks it up because he's he can't control himself most times, and that's why at the end.
And as much as I enjoy seeing Emilia Clarke, I don't know, it was hard to buy the love story. Only because Leia's in his future. The character's future. So and there's not even
that's
in the original Star Wars movies 4, 5, and 6. Does Han ever mention any kind of like previous lost love or anything like that? Yeah, there's never. I don't know.
That there would have made this make more sense or be even better with the love interest here, is if he had a lost love and whatever. But seeing as how it's like, what's the point of this?
I don't know. That whole part was weird for me. That relationship.
Yeah, because and the reason why I say is because like a lot of this movie is he's trying to get back to save her, and then he figures out what she's with, this, that, and the third, and all that. So it's like, what's the fucking point of it then? If not only is she not mentioned in here's my thing with all right, fuck this. I'm bumming it down to a 4. I'm bumming this down to a 4. Here's my thing with this, right? So 4, 5, and 6 were already out. You already know who he's gonna be with. You already know he has a relationship with this person. So it's like you can't just that he didn't mention her in 4, 5, or 6. So why even have him have this whole kind of thing? Maybe just have it about him, how he was brought up, how he grew into how he was, how he met Chewie, like you're saying, make a fun story out of it, make a better story out of it, and kind of go from there. Instead of this whole fucking going to save some chick and now you're not even with her. It's like not only you're not with her in the future, but you're not even mentioned. But this
not
is
just that, like you're never getting a sequel to this. So we're
No.
never going to find out what happens to her. So
Nope.
nothing.
You write this pointless like love story to pull in some demographic, and that's what you get, a thin story that sucks.
Oh, really? So future Star Wars, we don't see her ever again?
No. This is a character they made up for this movie.
They made her seem like she was like going to be an important character.
I think because they were banking on introducing Darth Maul will get people to want more of this. And nobody cared because it just wasn't a good story.
It's Star Wars, so they just assumed it would be good enough for a sequel. I think.
Oh, wow.
Okay. How do you not follow? Solo should have absolutely followed the mold of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's your Groot, and there's your fucking Rocket. Those are the original Groot and Rocket.
Holy shit!
Not really.
I know what you mean.
Really, but
I know it should have been something similar.
Yeah, with fucking Solo and Chewie. Boom, there you go. Your Solo and Chewie movie. That's how they met, and it makes sense. And have it tie in. I'm sure. Well, actually, Mick, in 4, 5, or 6, is there anything where they have at least mentioned how or where they met with Chewie and Han that you remember offhand, or maybe not?
I think they might mention that.
Not in 4, 5, or 6. They don't.
Han saved Chewie or something like that.
Yeah,
that's why he's partnered up.
Well, they don't mention that in the movies, though. They mention that in the original books. They tell the story.
Oh, okay.
So then just tell that story.
Yeah, no, because the geniuses at Disney said, "Wow, this amazing, rich history of Star Wars fans and Star Wars novels and comics and everything else in between that was canon to the entire thing, and wrote this insanely good story around these wonderful movies." No, they said, let's throw all of that out and make original stuff so they can make new characters, so they can bank on new merchandise and all that.
But you could bank on the stuff from the fucking books. You pull from that source and you have a way better movie. You have some dope merch and people are just like pulling on the story still.
Somebody has a right somewhere. Some writer who wrote the book and the story has a right. And
good.
But
that's
not what Disney wants.
But
I agree with you.
Disney needs to own everything it does.
Yeah.
Well,
so rewrite the history and don't do it good. Do it where it panders to whoever the fuck will buy the merchandise.
That sounds very American.
They're them and McDonald's, like all the big companies are the most American things on the planet. And none of them pay a fucking tax.
Nope. Just like Aaron.
That's bullshit. Don't throw that on me. I wish I had the freedom that these big companies
that's because you're black, not just because you're American.
Especially with the little bit of money we make, I feel like we're the ones that probably deserve those tax breaks. But that's for another show.
Aaron, drop my score down to a 6.
6.
I asked one question and everybody brought their scores down.
I'm keeping mine at 5. I think it's fair enough because you at least see the Millennium Falcon.
It is a weak story. It is weak.
I'm happy with. I'm watching it. I'm like, it's entertaining enough. I enjoy seeing the Falcon. I enjoy Han's interaction with Chewie. Chewie is good. That's enough for me to at least sit through this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chewie will automatically get me 2 points in any Star Wars.
You know what's crazy, and as I think about this while I was watching Star Wars. First off, majority of Star Wars movies don't have happy endings. only the ends of trilogies have a positive ending, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
And that includes this, and next week we'll talk about Rogue One. But
yes, we will. Which I fucking watched, but
when
I already watched.
Like when you talk favorite Star Wars characters, where do you stop the line between main character and then secondary? Like R2, D2, CP30,
R2D2, C3PO,
and Chewie.
Darth Vader, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those are the mains for me. Those are the ones that I think everything else. Oh, and Yoda. Sorry, fucking Yoda. God damn it! I can't believe I forgot Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of mad at myself again.
No, but the constants in these movies are usually even on the main character level, sub main character. Like Chewie is in this.
Yeah.
Same way R2D2 is in the prequels and everything else. Like those are, and even no matter how bad the movie is, those are the characters you still love in those movies.
You're right. You're right. Because Chewie, I loved him in this movie. You can't get mad at Chewie.
But Star Wars can, in their TV shows, they introduce new characters that you do give a shit about. It's the movies that have a tough time getting that started. But you do care about BB-8. I will say that. But he's no Chopper.
Well, I think for the animated shows and the TV, that's a totally different audience, honestly, than the people that.
That's a good point.
That's fair.
On the bandwagon with the original movies.
I feel like with the animated series of Star Wars, I've never watched them. I feel like it's more for it's obviously it's like the kids and then the diehards, like the diehard. Like Mick's probably seen them, but he's more of a diehard fan than all of us. For Star
I'll tell
Wars.
you, some are some solid TV shows that I would
I
tell
believe
people
you.
to watch.
I believe that, but I'm just saying though, like that's more for someone who's of your fandom and even a higher level of fandom for Star Wars and Star. You know what I mean? To where it's like me. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't type of deal. More so if it was like I'm doing it for a show, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But
I'd even like to extend to your guys' points further a little bit of why are we annoyed about this? Like, why do we care about this character when you know he's going to end up with Leia? That's the thing that Star Wars after Lucas, because I would argue that even he did a good job connecting the prequels to the originals.
Yeah.
You know, at least connecting so we see things. You know, we may not like everything we see, but there's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did that because, like, Star Trek over time became so connected with the movies and the TV shows and stuff like that. And that's what I love about Star Trek, and the fact that everything is so connected. You would never get a Solo where it's like, why are you introducing these characters we don't need, stuff like that. Like any character that's going to be introduced is going to mean something. And that's what I love about it. And it comes, coming with Star Trek and things like that. Like even me, I was mad about what's her name going back with them because it breaks the Prime Directive. And I didn't even think about it. She's a whale expert, and there's no experts in the future.
Yep.
You're welcome.
So thank you. You fixed it all for me.
Hey, there you go. And there's also the ending after Kirk's trial there, where she's like, she's not sticking around to stay with Kirk. She's going off on
the scientific
science.
Yeah,
that was fucked up.
Does she? So is she ever in the series again, Mick? Nothing.
Never see her again.
That lying bitch. I'll see you in the future, you lying motherfucker.
I fixed a hole that Mick thought was there for him. So.
I did. You did, and I appreciate
it. And the only thing he got out was a kiss.
Was a kiss?
No, I didn't get pissed. I don't care.
He didn't get his PP wet.
Well, he did. Then he
Kirk was looking to fix a hole too.
He was.
Jesus Christ!
He was close.
23rd century hole.
He was close.
How many people can say they banged someone in 2 different centuries?
You know what's funny? I tell my wife constantly, like, I have these group chats, and like it's so fun to be in a group chat with guys, and like it's not like this oversexed type of conversation. Like we're just geeks talking about funny stuff. And now one day, my wife is sitting in the studio with me, listening to this episode.
This is it.
I'm like, this is the one time. I was like, we don't really do that at all.
We have our moments.
Yeah,
That's
it's usually talk of upper deckers and
Yeah, that's true.
having
You know
your
what it is?
having your
You know what
black
it
card
is?
revoked.
You know what it is with us is we're like kids. It's like we start with a subject, and then once it's that one real funny and appropriate thing, we latch on to that for the rest of the night. We figure out different ways.
It's a snowball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad.
James enjoys a good snowball.
Jesus.
See what I mean?
Well, look at his beard. I mean, obviously.
I was thinking it, but Mick said it first.
Snowball catcher.
Oh my goodness! What a
Catches all the crumbs.
Yeah. This is what happens when you have 40 or 44 close to or 40-year-olds that are overtired, high or drunk.
High as fuck. Yeah.
All of the above.
This is what we get into. We all need to go to bed. That's what
True.
I do need to go to bed.
Which, So I think with that said, listen, we're gonna wrap this one up, and make sure you guys go check out the Scene Snobs. Make sure you guys go check out Stories from a Bar, Horror Research 30, Popcorn and Pints. We're out of here. Thanks for popping by. Peace, and again, check us out next week. Star Wars, Star Trek episodes 5 and 10
and Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yes, Rogue One. And,
let's make this clear because you two watched the wrong movie this week.
We watched Rogue One.
What we did was because of like space travel and the future and shit. We were just in the future. We just did this shit in the future. We're already ahead.
We time jumped. We time warped.
Yeah,
this is it. What's the fifth Star Trek movie? Is that
Final Frontier?
There you go. Final
Frontier.
And Rogue One. And for our Patreon, Ted.
Are we starting with the movie or the TV show?
TV show. But I think we did the movies.
Yeah, we did the movie. Well, at least the first one.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, but this is a different show. So they got if you're doing a conversation about each one, you should add the movies at the end.
We'll see.
We're doing it's a rewatch, and we're starting with the TV show.
Okay, there we go.
That literally just started.
Yes. And then we'll end with the movie. Then we could perhaps end with the movies,
but
yeah, we could just tune in, guys. Just pay attention to all that shit. Anyways, we're out of here. Thanks for popping by. Peace.